Alright, everything seems to be working. We're all good. Hello, one and all. Welcome to Movie Club. That's right, we're back again. I know it was so soon after the last one, but kind of had to bunch these ones all up. That's alright. But welcome. I hope you guys are having a good time. This one's gonna be a little bit different. Mainly because just scheduling conflicts came up and everything like that. So it's just gonna be me today, going over these two movies. But that's all right. It's gonna happen at times. But this also means that I can be more attentive with chat and stuff. Because obviously, usually I am typing, like I try to have a discussion with all of them, and I try to include chat when I can, but sometimes it's kind of hard to, and mainly I'll just end up typing in chat instead to kind of help with that, because obviously I still want to interact with you. But this one's gonna be, like I said, it's gonna be different because it's just me, which means I can just, to talk to you guys. We're just gonna sit down and talk. We're gonna go over two movies here today, both kids movies. So I'm gonna try my best not to cuss too much, just cause you never know who's watching these. Even if I set up restrictions and stuff like that, kids still get through because it's not that hard to. But yeah, and we're just gonna we're gonna go over some kids movies. We got Paddington, we got Paddington, the British story books, I believe. And then we have the Super Mario Bros. Movie, which is both of these are just fun movies, so I think we'll enjoy it. But we're just gonna be going over that. But yeah, usually, like usual, I'll usually start with the question, but, can't, let's see, but I guess I could just say it now, and let either, if chat you wanna respond or not, or if you're watching this as the VOD on YouTube later on, you can just put it in the comments. What's some of your guys' favorite kids movies that you watched growing up, or even if you just like them now? Because they're still a good watch, even if you're an adult, Just because it says it's a kids movie doesn't mean you can't enjoy it. For me, growing up, I loved an extremely goofy movie. That one, I loved an extremely goofy movie. That's why I always bring up the line, "Let's do it to it." Because I just loved that movie growing up. What else did I watch for kids movies? I watched a lot of things. Atlantis, which is definitely an underrated kids movie, I feel. And sorry. Let's see. I watched a lot of movies. So any Scooby-Doo was great. And then we had two live action Scooby-Doos were amazing. Then we had also just a million other things as well. Jeez, just of course, like once you get asked, once you start thinking about it, you just kind of forget about it, like everything that you've seen for whatever. Oh yeah, no, just Road to El Dorado, one of my all-time favorites. Such a good movie, just a whole lot of fun. But yeah. Let's see. But yeah, that's kind of just it. Sorry, I know it's just like very simple opening, but like I said, it's just gonna be me today, so we're just gonna be going through. And if you guys have questions, just put them in chat, or if you just want to chat as well, like give your opinions on the movies, you can totally do that. I don't mind at all, and I'll actually be able to, answer them more, and I'll be good as long as I see the warning, like the ad breaks incoming. I'll let you guys know, because it's just me, which means I can just state when an ad's about to start. which there's gonna be ads starting in about a minute, just so you know. So I'm not gonna get started on the presentation portion yet, but after the break, we'll just get started. But yeah, let me see what other movies did I watch as a kid growing up? I remember watching Quest for Camelot, which was like just a kind of, strangely enough, it was a B tier just animated movie like that was like fantasy, took place in Camelot and stuff like that, and just kind of, I don't know. I enjoyed the songs, and it definitely wasn't like a big production type thing, so it's an interesting thing to watch for sure. Um, Growing up, always anything with Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes were a lot of fun. I loved the. It's funny. I did find it funny when I was a kid, but I find it so much funnier now. The Looney Tunes show, really hilarious. Also, the ads are about to start, just so you know. And that one it's just really funny to watch, I think. So, but yeah, like I said, this will be a weird movie club. It's just gonna be me, so it's kind of more talking to myself, but that's all right. Well, I'm not talking to myself. I'm talking to you guys as well. So, but yeah, that's kind of the rundown. So once this set of ads is done, we'll get started with the actual presentation. Like I said, we have Paddington and the Super Mario Bros. Movie, which is both are just like a fun time. So that I'll tell you, spoiler alert, they're actually both good thing, like both good movies. So and but yeah, so we just get to have a fun time doing that. There we go. The ad. I love how much of a gap it is between when the ad break actually starts. Oh yeah. So that's kind of it. That's what we're doing today. We're just hanging out, having a good time. And I guess I just hope you guys enjoy. And like I said, if you guys have questions or you just have comments about the two movies, go ahead and just say it. Put them in chat, because I'll definitely answer them. Or if it's a question, I'll try my best to answer it. But if it's just like, I like this scene, I like this scene, or something like that, and like I definitely will respond. So, a little tired today too. I just had a doctor's appointment this morning, so a little tired, but I'll be all right. And I'm gonna do 2 streams today. We're doing movie club obviously right now, but we will end up having Lethal Company later tonight and that's with Zara and Pumpkin, maybe Mallow, if Mallow wants to join. I don't know if he is. Daru was supposed to, but he accidentally double booked, which happens, so he'll join us next time, but that's all right. And ad break's almost over, so we'll get started on the presentation in a second. So welcome back from the ads. I hope they were all right, but we'll just jump straight into the presentation now. I made these last night. I was super tired last night, so I just knew I had to get these done. I knew I didn't have time to do them. So they're really quick, but they're should be at least good enough for our discussion. I titled Super Paddington Bros. I don't know. You kind of just throw them two together, and that's kind of what I got out of it. So, but we're going to start off with Paddington here, which, okay. That was weird. I love when it just glitches out there for a second. But we're going to start off with Paddington. This is my first time ever watching Paddington, so I was actually fondly surprised. I had heard that it was a good movie. I know, like, Paddington 2 is, like, even better, and, like, way, like, some people say it's, like, a perfect movie and stuff like that. But I have not seen that movie. But this movie did make me want to go and watch it at some point. But Paddington was released January 16th, 2015. Surprisingly enough, I remember when this movie came out. I was 15 at the time. I didn't go and see it, but I remember the trailer. Like, I think I don't know what movie we had gone and watched, but it was obviously during, like, 2014. And I just remember seeing the trailer. It looked cute, but I was 14, so I wasn't like in the mood to go see like, oh, a kids movie. Nowadays I'll be like, yeah, sure. At at 23 I'd be like, sure, yeah, you want to go watch a kids movie? Let's go do it. It'll be fun. So like I said, this is like my first introduction of it, but I do remember like the trailer. I remember the trailer heavily showed him messing up the bathroom. So I remember like that scene perfectly just from the trailer. But yeah, this was directed by Paul King. I don't know what other things he has directed. I guess I can Google actually. But obviously producers of Harry Potter and stuff like that. But I don't know what Paul King has made. So let me see what else. Let me Google, you know what? Because we have the technology. Let's see. Paul King. He's known for Paddington. He's basically known for Paddington. He either wrote or directed the new Wonka movie that's he directed the new Wonka movie that's coming out, which actually seemed pretty good. And a few other things that very heavily a British director, and I don't know too much about British film and TV too much. I've watched a few things, but I'm not that fully dived into it, so. But yeah, let's go. Whoops. There we go. So we're gonna, like usual, go over the characters first, and of course we're gonna start off with the pivotal character of Paddington, who is voiced by Ben Whishaw. I think that's how you say it, Whishaw. I chose this picture because I absolutely loved it. This scene was just funny to me, and I did add it into the clips that we have later. But him, I don't know, he just has this sass with holding this chihuahua, and I just loved it. So I don't know, I just put it back. I just put it as a picture. But Paddington is a talking bear raised in darkest Peru with his aunt and uncle. After his uncle dies, he is sent to London to find the explorer who came and found his aunt and uncle decades ago. Not knowing anything in London, he is taken in by the Brown family. So, obviously, Paddington is our pivotal character. It's the title character. And just like every other kid's movie, one of his like father figure, mother figure, somebody has to die. Someone that raised him has to die. And in this movie, it is his uncle. I actually don't remember their names. I think Aunt Petunia was the girl bear's name. I just don't remember the uncle. Like I said, he was in it for like 5 minutes, so it's kind of hard to remember. But yeah, so he is sent to London from his aunt sends him there after his uncle dies, because when the explorer arrived, he told them that they should come visit London sometime, and he told them stories about the war. I believe it was World War II, when obviously they didn't want kids to be in war zones and stuff like that, so they would put basically tags on them just stating who they are, where they're going, and like send them to the train stations, and families would like basically not adopt them but take care of them during the time of the war and everything like that. And so his aunt does the same for him and sends him to London with just a tag on his over his neck. So next we have Henry Brown, played by Hugh Bonneville, He was fun. He great actor. I might have seen him in other things, but he was great in this movie. He plays the like serious, overprotective dad very well. But Henry here, he is the father of Judy and Jonathan and husband to Mary. He is stubborn to not let Paddington into their home, but relents when his wife asks him. His family sees him as cautious and boring, but he does it out of the safety of his family, though he is too cautious at times. So yeah, he plays the very overprotective, doting dad. He wants to keep everybody safe. The first time we see him, well, basically him and the family, that we all see him at the same time. They're coming off the train, and Jonathan's saying, "I can't believe we went to like it was like some yarn museum or something like that," and something super boring in Jonathan's eyes, not like cool and dangerous. But as we find out later in the movie, the reason Henry is like this is because he freaked out when he became a dad. He used to be this like wild, dangerous guy, riding a motorcycle, just living free, having fun times with Mary. And then once Judy showed up, he's all like, "Oh no, I need to get my life together." Well, not really. I need to get my life together. It's like I need to trade in my motorcycle for a four-door car so that we can protect the baby and stuff like that. But he kind of took it to an extreme, just like a lot of other people, a lot of protective people do. So he just kind of became this overly cautious character that even though he didn't need, and he takes it a little bit too far at times. But thanks to Paddington, you see that he kind of gets back into being a little bit more wild and having a good time and throwing caution to the wind and trying anything that you feel like kind of thing, which definitely Mary missed about him. But yeah, and so that is Henry Brown. Next, of course, we just talked about Henry. We got to talk about Mary. We got Mary Brown, played by Sally Hawkins. She has a very fun style throughout the movie. I don't know. It's not really a hippie style. It kind of is. Like she wears beanies and stuff. Like she likes to wear big sweaters and everything like that. But it's interesting because it's more usually when you say that, it would be like, ooh, like cool, like rainbow colors or something like that. She chooses a lot of like normal, like just like, as you can see, she's wearing like a red sweater and like a kind of orangish yellow beanie. She doesn't like go out there with all the colors. She doesn't wear like purple and pinks and all that. And like most of the movie, she's just wearing like brown sweaters and stuff like that. So it's actually it's an interesting style. I don't know. Obviously, I didn't grow up in Britain, so I don't know the fashion there. I don't even know the fashion in America. So, I'm the best judge. But anyway, Mary here, she's the mother of Judy and Jonathan, and that says wide. I meant to say wife to Henry. I am so bad at clicking the right button. They are right next to each other. Whoops. She's the first to notice Paddington in the train station and convinces her family to take him home with them. She works toward helping him find the explorer to be his legal guardian. So yeah, Mary here, she doesn't, I put that she was the first to notice Paddington, but not really. She notices, like, the whole family notices him at once. They're all like, "Oh, there's a bear in the train station," which is apparently just a normal thing in this magical world of Paddington. But she's like the one that like slows down and looks at them or looks at him and stuff like that. He's all like, and wants to help him. And Henry's all like, "Don't look at him, don't look at him, keep going, otherwise we get dragged into this," and stuff like that. And but she, being the kind-natured person she is, she goes and talks to Paddington. She's a mate, like she's not scared of him. Once again, it's a bear and a talking bear if with that, but she is definitely just the one that's all like, oh, I need to help this person. Whereas when Paddington has been there for literally a whole day, and she's the one that's all like, oh yes, I would like to help you. You're all alone. Why don't you come spend the night at our house so that you don't have to. Like, she asks what his plans are, and he's all like, oh, I was thinking about sleeping in that trash bin over there. And so she's like, she has to like convince her family to uh let Paddington stay at the house. Most of them, or two of them. She has to convince Henry and Judy, whereas Jonathan was all like, ooh, a bear? Nice, yeah, let's take him. But yeah. Next, of course, we got Judy Brown, played by Madeline Harris. She's the daughter of Henry and Mary, as well as sister to Jonathan. She's embarrassed by her family, but comes to accept their quirks. Same with Paddington. She did not want. Same with Paddington. She did not want to take him home, at first, but relented and learned to love him once she found out her school thinks he is cool. So Judy is in those preteen years. I don't think she is fully a teenager yet, but she's in those preteen years. She's very like, oh, I'm embarrassed by my family type stuff. Like, oh, no matter what, just like, I don't like. I'm embarrassed by them. I don't want to take a boy that she has a boy that she's been seeing at school who's here and stuff like that, and she doesn't want to take him home. She only goes over to his house type thing because she's scared of what her family will do and embarrass her in front of him. And she was the same way. She's very much like her dad. She didn't want anything to do with Paddington. That's what that last sentence was supposed to say, but clearly my tired brain did not write a complete sentence. Also, that sentence probably would have been written that way anyway, even if I wasn't tired, because I'm bad at writing. But yeah, so Judy here, she didn't want Paddington to come home either. She thought it would be. She didn't want to be like labeled as weird or like a freak and stuff like that. In her own words, I don't care. I love weird. I love anything like that. So like it's fun having your own quirks. Otherwise, it's boring as all hell. Why would you want just a you kind of want a normal family in the sense of, oh, like love me, protect me, stuff like that. But you also want their quirks. You want them to be like outgoing and fun. You might be embarrassed at them at times, but like that's the fun of it. You get to enjoy your family. You get to see them all do these interesting things and all that. And she is just totally embarrassed by them. And the same thing with Paddington. She didn't want to take him because she would be embarrassed. But once she kind of relents, she's all like, okay, yeah, mom's gonna bring him anyway, so let's just do it. And next day something's going on and she's at school and Paddington ends up outside the school. He's not in the school, but all the children in the school like run at the windows and like look and is all like, oh my gosh, a bear, he's so cool. And she finally like is all like, oh wait, she like accepts him. She's like, oh, everyone at school doesn't find him weird. They actually think he's pretty cool and stuff like that. So she accepts him and is all like, yes, you are pretty cool and stuff like that. Not the best message, but she does relent at some point. The last of the Brown family, we got Jonathan Brown, played by Samuel Jocelyn. I believe that's how you say his last name. But he is the son of Henry and Mary, as well as brother to Judy. Jonathan agrees with his mom on first meeting Paddington, but in a more selfish way, believing it would be fun to have a bear in the house. He learns to realize that his dad isn't as boring as he thinks he is, and helps his dad come out of his shell. So yeah, Jonathan here also was all like, oh yeah, let's bring Paddington home. But he wasn't doing it in like, oh, we should do this at the kindness of our hearts. He's all like, it'll just be fun having a bear in the house. It's exciting. Let's do it. It's more of a selfish reason on why he wants Paddington to be in the house. He isn't doing it out of like the kindness of his heart or that it's the right thing to do. Though it is the right thing to do. Maybe help him out. He's and stuff like that. And like I said when we were going over Henry, Jonathan believes him just to be like so boring. He's like so overprotective. He chooses the most boring vacation, like places to go see and stuff like that. Why can't my dad be more fun? And then as the movie goes on, he starts to learn about his dad's past, and he wants to help bring his dad back to that state a little bit, not fully. Just having fun. He still wants him to he still wants his dad to protect his family and be supportive and everything like that, but he's just all like, oh, okay. But he's all like, please, like, just throw caution to the wind at times. Let's have some fun and stuff like that. But yeah, and Jonathan's just, he's the youngest of them, so, you know, he just wants everything to be fun all the time, even though it doesn't always turn out that way. Alright, last but certainly not least, we got the villain of the movie. We got by the name of Millicent, played by Nicole Kidman, who's a very beautiful woman, and has been in about a million other things, and is always just a great actress, and just has a good time. But she is a taxidermist at the museum, who has always wanted to taxidermy the rare talking bears from darkest Peru. When Paddington arrives in London, she finds it the perfect opportunity to add him to the collection. Yeah, so she is a taxidermist, so she stuffs dead animals, makes them look presentable and stuff like that, like you're gonna hang them on your wall or something like that. Or in her case, she works at a museum, so when she stuffs them, they put them on exhibit. It's a way to have people see what they look like and stuff like that. And she spoiler alert, I'll just say it now, she turns out to be the daughter of the explorer who came and met Paddington's family all those years ago, and ever since that time she's known about the talking bears, and she's wanted to catch one and taxidermy it and make a specimen out of one of them, as she puts it. So unlike her father, who was very sweet and like taught the bears how to different culture and stuff like that, and taught them how to talk, she would rather just like to kill one and stuff it and make it and like put it on display, and she does do that she wants to do that as more of a way to show that her father wasn't lying or that he wasn't crazy or anything like that, after being basically thrown out of the Explorers Guild that he was a part of. And so she kind of wants that. So she kind of holds a resentment to Paddington and the other talking bears because of it. But, you know, she's still the villain, obviously. And we don't want to see Paddington stuffed. So, but yeah. So those are our main characters. There's a few other characters throughout the film. Obviously, we have the aunt and uncle, but they're in it for like just a few minutes. The aunt in it a little bit more. And then there is the neighbor to the Browns. Also, sorry for the ad break. I didn't notice it. Of course, it didn't warn me again. Let's bring this up here so I can see it. But yeah, so there's minor characters, but if I went over all the characters, it definitely would take forever, and so not going to do that, sadly. But But yeah, we do have an ad break in about a minute. Oh wait, no, we have an ad break. Sorry, I just noticed. So my bad. Didn't mean to. Like I said, I wasn't warned. I now have it set up. I have it on a different screen, so I should know if if an ad's gonna come up or when an ad comes up. So I will let you know. Um, but yeah, we'll wait a second. We'll let the ad play out before we go into the clips and talk about like more of the other things that show up in the movie. So we'll actually get into the meat and potatoes of the movie. So, but yeah, and so she's obviously the villain. We don't want to see Paddington stuffed. The other timer still says that an ad's going on. I'm gonna let that timer play out before I officially start. Sorry about that, but I kind of want to get through. I want to make sure everybody's back 100%. But once we are, we're good. Okay, we got an ad in 20 minutes, so we got some time. But yeah, and so that's all the characters. We still have some minor characters. We got the Browns neighbor. We have the aunt and the uncle bear, but all these people don't really show up, so they're not in it long enough for me to warrant a character slide. But we'll start with the clips now. We got this one I titled "Just a Bear in a Train Station, Normal Tuesday." So this is close to the beginning of the movie. It's not 100% the beginning of the movie. At this point, Paddington is here, I'll read the description for you. Paddington arrives in London and waits in the station until someone will come and look after him, like the story that his aunt told him about kids during the war. When no one seems to want him, he just so happens to run into the Brown family, who debate to take him in. So yeah, and we'll just start the clip now because it's actually sweet. I will bring this down a little bit. But yeah, so like I said, this isn't 100% the start of the movie, but it's close enough. Basically, the only thing we have missed in this movie is there's like a film reel in the beginning showing the explorer finding the bears, and then a little bit of Paddington with his aunt and uncle, and then his uncle dying, and then hit Paddington and his aunt go on a boat, and she sends him off to London with the tag from the history and stuff like that during the war that she had heard the stories about, and so she sends him to London. And so yeah, so this is him meeting them for the first time. We don't get to see the little thing of like him saying, "Leave him alone, don't, it's just a bear in a station, don't look at him." And I find it funny. It is very funny in this world, just having a bear be in the station. Literally, he's just standing there talking. No one cares in the slightest. I don't know what it's like in London. I don't know if like weird things happen in London a bunch of time, like every day, that especially in train stations, that it's just all like, oh, whatever, there's a bear in the station, oh well. But I mean, it could, I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, and this scene's just really great. You get to see like, yeah, you get to see each it's actually in this 2-minute clip you get to see all of the family's quirks and like individuality. It's very beautifully shot and stuff like that. Also like with the lighting and everything. The whole scene is great. Because this is basically 3 minutes long, and you get to see like kind of everyone's quirks, so even Paddington's quirks during this. As we saw Mary being all like kind and generous and wanting to take Paddington home, being the one that goes up and is all like, "Oh, what are you doing?" and stuff like that, and all. And then, but you see like Henry's like disdain for her going up there and being like that. And then, and as you might have heard, like, it might be a little bit too low. I don't know. I try and keep the volume low. I know it sucks, but copyright is a real thing, and I have trouble uploading these anyway. So, um, but yeah, and so yeah, like you get Henry being all like, "Oh, here we go. Here's the sob story. We're gonna have to take him with us." Yeah, sure. Everybody has a sob story. Yada yada yada. And it is interesting because, like I said, while Jonathan is also agreeing with his mother and being all like, "Oh, let's take the bear with us home." It's not in a I'm doing this for the right reasons. I'm doing this because I feel sad for him, or I just know he needs somewhere to sleep, so let's take him home. Jonathan is doing it fully just because, well, he might have the illusion of doing it, like doing the right thing and stuff like that, and has a little bit of his mom in there. You could see from just like his facial reactions and everything, and the way he talks to Paddington, that he's doing it more in a selfish way. He's all like, "This will be fun to have a bear in the house. So let's take him home." And it's great because that's exactly how a kid would react. The what was it? His name was I forgot his name. I feel bad for his for not remembering his name, but the kid actor is clearly very well good. Like I said, you see Henry like being disdained and like being cautious. He's all like, "Oh, everybody has a sob story. You got to be careful around the train station, otherwise you'll end up taking everybody home." And then you have Judy here, who one of her first lines was, "Oh, he's so embarrassing." And then you even have Paddington, like, you see how out of depth he is, even though he was raised with a little bit of knowledge of London and by talking bears, who like learned more from the explorer. He still has that fish out of water, doesn't know everything about London. He's still learning. Um, doesn't know the etiquette of like how to eat cake, or like he doesn't understand really a teapot too well. Um, Even trying to eat a ketchup bottle or a ketchup bottle that looks like a tomato, because it's like, "Oh, it's tomato. Yeah, I can eat this." Um, oh yeah, and I love that. You always have that kids moment, or this moment in kids movie is just like, "Oh, what should we name you?" And then they just look up, and that whatever the first word that they see is like their name for it. Before we move on, first of all, I'll just replay it again because I like this scene. Like I said, lighting is very good. A lot of these movies, especially kids movies and stuff, I don't know, like if it's a night scene or anything, it's like way too dark. So I'm glad that the um director Paul King, he like lit everything up. He's all like, "Oh, let's make it all bright. Let's show all the color and stuff that we have." Um and stuff like that. And like I said, there is a bunch of dry humor. This is a British film, which means there's a lot of dry humor. From what I know of British people, dry humor is like their go-to. And so Jonathan being all like, "I didn't even know bears could talk," because if any of us saw a bear in a train station and it could talk, we would freak out. Like, and it's just really funny seeing how no one cares that there's a talking bear in something. But I do also like this. You see that their English and bear language, like the growling is actually like correct. Like that is like its own language. It's not English. Like he's not just speaking English and he's growling like in other kids' movies. Like bear language and English are completely separate. And I do like this. Like I do love the Henry trying to growl his name, and he's all like, Mr. Brown, that is extremely rude. Like, it's just funny, because it's all like, what word did he say? What did he say that was so bad? Probably a cuss word, um, but yeah. And so, like I said, it's fun seeing everything, like, all, like, in one scene, you get to see everybody's quirks and see how unique they are and everything like that. It's actually very cool. We'll move on to the next clip that I have now. I believe I have like 7 clips, but they're all like 2 minutes long. I think I also have 7 clips for Super Mario movie, but those are a little bit longer because I really like the Mario movie and we're going to talk a lot about it. This next one is, hey, this was in the poster, as you saw in the poster earlier. And like I said, this was, I knew of this scene just from the trailer, and it just like stayed in the back of my mind, so I just remembered it. But anyway, so we have the Brown family decides to let Paddington stay for one night. After they arrive, the Browns tell Paddington he can freshen up in the bathroom, but never using a British bathroom before leads to some interesting results. So, obviously, he's a bear. You don't really need to clean your, like, you don't have to freshen up in a bathroom and stuff like that. So he just has no idea about, like, plumbing and stuff like that. They might have had that, because when they were in Darkest Peru, they had some cool contraptions and stuff like that, but he isn't used to, like, a British bathroom, so, you know. You always have to have this in a kid's movie. You gotta have them be, if you have, like, a fish out of water character, they always have to, like, oh, I'll go to the bathroom and not understand any of it. This is disgusting. Just the earwax being like that. That's so gross. And then him just chugging the mouthwash, not understanding. And the funny thing is, I understand. Like, if you used mouthwash before, you totally understand why he goes like, because it's just like, it's minty freshness. So. And then, yeah, him just like, in just one little scene, you see how much he kind of destroys the place without even meaning to. Obviously proving Henry is right, like, a bear shouldn't be living in a house and stuff like that. I do love this is beautifully animated. Like, the CGI is amazing. Like, you got the shower head, like, flying around, and then you have Paddington holding the toilet seat and the brush, like a sword and shield, and it's like, it's beautifully animated. And then he finally bests the water snake. But yeah, and like, once again, we're still at the beginning of the movie, so obviously Henry is still like very like harump, no bears. And so he's all like, no, the bear's not allowed in anybody's rooms, he's sleeping in the attic. And stuff like that, so. And then, oh yes, we have their nanny. I don't believe they're related. Mrs. Bird, that's what her name is. Yeah, so she's not related to them, but she's their nanny. And, she fixes everything in the house, and it's interesting. I totally forgot about this, but this is also funny. Once again, that kind of like dry British wit. Henry immediately, when he gets home, is all like, okay, let me call my insurance guy. I need to get this signed right. Like, he's all like, I know something's gonna happen. So he gets his insurance guy on the phone and is all like, hey, we have a bear in the house. I need extra, like, coverage on the house, medical, everything. And he's trying to get it signed. Like, immediately that first drop from the bathroom happens, and then he's all like, oh no. And so he's like on the phone being all like, hey, yeah, no, sign it now, please, so that he doesn't be held liable, which is funny. But yeah. And once again, just like a very beautifully animated scene. The cast and crew knew exactly what they were doing, and it shows. They put a lot of work into this, and especially the animators. Because, like, if you look at it, like, even if you just look at them, you could see, like, all the individual hairs on Paddington and everything like that, and they all move in their own pace. You see him get, like, his hair, like, gets matted down when it's all wet and stuff like that. The animators did a beautiful job with it, so. But it is interesting. I don't think I've ever seen a toilet, well, except in movies, obviously, British, like, TV and cinema. I've never seen a toilet like that. Like, I've never used a toilet like that, so. But it is fun. Like, clearly they're just flooding a room. You could tell just, I don't think the animators went in and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure you could kind of tell they clearly just, like, started filling a room with water, which is so much fun, which would be so much fun to film or, like, do. Like, okay, let's fill this up with water and everything like that, and then we'll just, like, open it up and it'll be like a water slide, essentially. And I feel as though if there isn't, like, a water ride in some British amusement park that's Paddington themed, I think they should, like, totally just do it. Like, it would just be so much fun. Yeah. And of course we still get Judy's lines of, oh, so embarrassing and stuff like that, because she's just she's particularly embarrassed by her mom, mostly because she's, like, out there and quirky and stuff like that. But she doesn't enjoy that, and so. But, and also this like him running up the step, like, you could clearly tell, like, they probably made a sound stage, but, like, they made a full sound stage. Like, he ran up all those stairs and, like, went to a different landing and everything like that. So this, like, they built this house, even if it's just, like, a sound stage. But that shows, like, great dedication and stuff like that. And more than likely, they had, like, a fun crane in the center. Like, they made it big enough that a crane with the camera can be in the middle, and it just, like, follows and tracks Henry as he runs up the stairs. So. And I do like that his hat caught a bunch of water, and then once he, like, takes it off, all the water, like, just flushes down. And of course he has the ducky. Who doesn't love a rubber ducky? Who doesn't bathe with a rubber ducky? Alright. Go on to the next one. We have, Paddington is strutting with that dog. So basically, it's the next day. The address books turn up nothing on the Explorer. So Mary decides to take Paddington to an antique store to see if they can identify the hat that was left to his uncle by the Explorer. But Paddington takes rules a little too seriously in the subway. So basically, it is the next day. Sorry for the dogs. But dogs do be barking. It is the next day of after the night of destroying the bathroom. And I don't have a scene for it, but it's really cool how they do, like, the house, like, showing, like, the inside of the house. They have basically they sweep over to a place that it looks like a dollhouse, basically, and they just, like, open it, and then you get to see all the different rooms in the house and everything like that. That way we could see, like, everybody doing their individual things. Sorry, a little bit thirsty. But it's such a cool way. I know other movies have done it too, but I think that it was done so beautifully, particularly in this movie, that it works out. Also, we have about a minute and a half before ads start. I'm not going to start the clip until you guys get back from ads, just so you know. But I could keep talking while all this goes. Basically, but yeah, so they sweep over to a dollhouse, and it gets opened up, and you get to see all the different rooms, and they have them all lit up and everything, and everybody's like um standing there. I don't know how exactly how they would do it, but I can probably guess that basically they just individually made sound stages for each of them, like all the different rooms, and then just like filled them and then added some like effects, obviously, because they're gonna need that to like have it all work out. Um, but but in this scene, we get to figure out that Mrs. Bird knows how to fix basically anything. She she takes out a blowtorch and puts like down a welding or puts on a welding mask and like welds the bathtub to fix it, and basically fixes the bathroom overnight, which is obviously quite impressive. Um, and of course, you have Henry and Mary fighting over why did we let Paddington in and stuff like that. Then we have, I think I'm trying. I don't really remember what Judy and Jonathan were doing. I think oh wait, this is just where we learn that Jonathan gets like very old toys and stuff like that. Also, ad starts in 3, 2, 1. While they are off in the ad, I'll just hang out. Oh, I guess the ad hasn't started yet. But basically, you find out Jonathan like gets very old toys because he accidentally like blew something up. Like he made rocket skates because he had like new toys, and so his father gave him older toys that he couldn't turn into a rocket. So, and this is where you find out Judy can like is learning Chinese. She's like she can learn any language, and she is learning Chinese because she wants to run away and start a small business. And that's kind of that's what everyone's doing the night before we get to this part where they go to the subway. But yeah, so Mary is like looking through the internet and the books. Also, the ad just started, just so you know, but that's okay. But but yeah, so a lot of talking. But yeah, so it's a lot of fun. Like this whole sequence, like this movie is just a lot of fun. So same with the Mario movie. Like I'm just gonna keep on gushing about like each of them are just so much fun. That's all they need to be. They don't need to have like a very deep plot or anything like that. It's just fun. So um, but yeah, and that's true. They're just like fun, enjoyable movies. They don't need to be anything else than that. So um, but yeah, I'm excited for this next scene. This scene made me laugh very hard. So mainly because I don't know, I laugh at dumb things, and I just find it really funny. Um, one of the timers still says an ad's going on, so we'll get started after that one. But I don't know, this scene just made me laugh a lot, so I'm excited. Um, welcome back from the ads. Like I was saying, so Mary like Googled and checked through the page, like Googled and looked through newspapers to see if she can find anything about this explorer, but she couldn't find anything. So she comes up with the idea, oh, let's go to, I know an antique store, let's go have them investigate your hat. Maybe he'll know if it was like unique or anything like that. And so this is them on their way to the to the antique shop, taking the subway. So, and obviously Jonathan and Judy are going to school, and Judy, of course, Judy, still being all embarrassed of her family, is all like, "Don't tell the school about about Paddington. Also, I love the band. Like I think it's like a Mamba band or something like that, but they're just like, they're there a little bit, and I love all their outfits. It's so fun.
Now, watch out. There are thieves, murderers, and pickpockets on every planet. So follow us and do exactly.
And obviously now you get to see Henry once again being over cautious. While there are a lot of pickpockets and stuff like that in London, there isn't like a ton of. He's just all like, there's thieves, murderers, and pickpockets on every platform. And of course you get the you kind of get the sense that they just the Brown family does this often, so that basically when they don't notice Paddington is not following him or them, because they're so used to their day and normal day. But I love this. Paddington just looks and says, "Dogs must be carried." So he goes and just finds a Chihuahua, grabs him, and I love the workers look like, what the hell am I seeing? It's the first time people like react that there's a bear. And then of course stand on your right, so he starts just standing on his right foot. It's just hilarious. I think it's so much. It's just so dumb, but I love it. And they probably did have like an actual Chihuahua a little bit, yeah. But like the Chihuahua's face that they animated and stuff is just hilarious. And so he just goes and you know, steals a Chihuahua, because he's all like, oh, dogs must be carried. So everybody must be carrying a dog if they're in Subway. But yeah, but not much to talk about that. Just really funny. I enjoyed that a lot. So we'll just move on to the next one. All right, here we go. Now we get Officer Paddington takes no prisoners. So while at the antique store, Paddington notices that a gentleman drops his wallet, so he chases after him, trying to return it. But what he doesn't know is that the man is actually a pickpocket.
But now I should like to take a look at your hat.
So
Unusual color. It is hard to say how much of that is original and how much.
but yeah.
Marmalade.
So
My uncle always kept a marmalade sandwich in his hat.
of course we have the marmalade sandwich in the hat, just that his uncle always have. But of course we have I don't know his name, but he's been in a million things as well. The antique owner. And he always like has that like crazy looking hair and stuff like that. But we get to see Paddington like, oh, he's just a nice bear. He just wants to return the wallet. Even though obviously we just saw that he stole it. And of course, you know, we have, it's just like peak kids movie, and it's great. Just like him ending up on a skateboard and him just running into a costume rack and just like, oh, he's a police bear. And it's funny. Like it's just a good time. And of course we get the callback of the guy with the Chihuahua. And so and obviously he's not having it with Paddington. He's all like, knock it off, leave my dog alone. And this is probably the funniest part of this whole thing, is that that there's cops that start following him, and they're all like, oh no, an officer in distress. They're all like, they believe he's a real police officer. It's funny. I don't know. This whole sequence is really funny. So, but it's once again beautifully animated. You got like Paddington flying in the air, and of course, and I do love the English teacher teaching about Shakespeare, and it's all like, of course we have Shakespeare's most famous line, exit pursuit by a bear, you know. So, and of course, we got Paddington. And then just good old cartoon physics. He lands on the pickpocket and helps them get caught, and then you get all the students noticing and just clapping and loving Paddington. It's just really sweet. I love it. And then and him just waving up to Judy, and she's all like, "Oh, I'm embarrassed." But once you know, her boyfriend says, "Oh, he's awesome," she accepts it, and she's like, "Oh yes, Paddington is pretty cool." And she starts she just starts like accepting him and stuff like that after this point, which is very nice. All right, so a little bit has passed. Basically, at this point in the movie, Paddington and Henry, after the antique store, the antiquer tells the Mary that the hat is from the Explorers Guild. It's not the actual name, it's just like an Explorers Guild. And so Henry and Paddington like sneak into the place, or go in, and is all like, "Hey, we have this hat. Who did the Peru expedition?" But surprisingly, there's all the records have been destroyed, and so Henry and Paddington like sneak in, and there's just like a fun sequence of, obviously, oh, what do we have? Henry has to dress up like a woman, but the fun part is that the security guard just like thinks that Henry is the most beautiful woman, which is just fun. And then they find out what the name of the explorer is. They like steal a film reel, and it turns out to be the film reel that we saw in the beginning of the movie, introducing us to the talking bears. And so they learn the name of the explorer. And so at this, the next day after they find the name of the explorer, the taxidermist, Millicent, breaks into the house trying to obviously kidnap Paddington. But it doesn't work. But she does start a fire in the end. And because of this, Paddington gets blamed for it. And basically, Henry and the whole family's upset by Paddington almost burning the house down. But the thing that I love the most about that scene is that they aren't surprised that he almost burned the house down. What they're most upset about is that they believe he is lying, even though he is telling the truth. And so it's a very bittersweet scene of they clearly still love and care about them, but they can't trust him because they believe he is lying. And it's very sweet. So he runs away, and so he goes and checks all the different addresses that have the explorer's name. And so then we get this one, which I titled, "Oh, this is giving me serial killer vibes." Paddington leaves the Browns after being blamed for starting a fire that was actually done by an intruder, who was the taxidermist. Luckily, Paddington was able to learn the name of the explorer, so he goes and checks all the houses he can. And so then we get this scene where he comes up on the last house. There was a cute little scene where he goes up to a different one that was called 36. And the person that answers the ring, the intercom, gets really mad at him, and then he turns around, notices there's another 36, and then he finds out the 36 he was just at is actually 39, so it's fun. But yeah, this part of the it really does feel like, obviously technically she is a serial killer of animals, and Paddington being an animal, but being more personified and everything like that is how it goes. And so it's you could see even if you just look at the framework and stuff like that, you see how they change from the usual bright colors and stuff that we see to those white drab with darker lighting. because obviously once we hear her voice, we know who it is. It's Nicole Kidman. It's the taxidermist. I do like this joke, the taxi, and then she slides it in. It says taxidermist. This guy I haven't talked about, but he's the neighbor that I brought up earlier, of the Browns, and he immediately, like, love at first sight, saw the taxidermist and fell in love with him, or with her, and he helps her with her plans, and she's like trying to. So he's trying to, like, oh, I did that, like, I helped you, so now you like me, right? And she being how she is, she doesn't actually love him and stuff like that. And obviously in this scene, the neighbor finds out that, oh, she's trying to kill Paddington, not just send him back to Peru. And after being rejected, he runs to a telephone and calls the Browns, as we clearly see. But yeah, he's just, the usual. He's just the usual neighbor that's all like, oh, there's fun and craziness happening next door. Kind of like SpongeBob. He's the Squidward of this in Paddington. But to be truthful, with some of the stuff that SpongeBob and even Paddington get up to, like, kind of understandable why you'd be grouchy about them. So, but now we go a little bit further. It's not too much further. As we saw, the Browns like, obviously the neighbor told the Browns where to go, so they rushed the museum to go and save Paddington. Whoops, I didn't mean to start. They find out that basically it's locked up, so they have to, like, sneak in through the sewers. So they go into the sewers while Mrs. Bird, the nanny, goes and, like, basically challenges the security guard to a drinking contest to keep him distracted, which is a pretty fun scene. And then they get into the building thanks to Jonathan being a pyromaniac and blowing up basically the entrance, and then but yeah, so he goes in, and so the whole family gets to go in after an explosion happens. They turn off the electricity, so the taxidermist leaves Paddington before she's about to kill him. And then basically the only way to get to where Paddington is by climbing on the outside of the building, and so that's what Henry does. So he climbs around and wakes up Paddington, and that's where we are now. But I guess I can actually read the description. Paddington gets bear napped by the taxidermist, who turns out to be the explorer's daughter. Learning Paddington is in danger, the Browns rush to the museum and make a plan to get Paddington out. Also, I would like to say, when I wrote this last night, bear napped did not get auto-corrected. Like, it didn't auto-correct to kidnapped. Bear napped is a valid term, I guess.
What are you doing?
But now we got this going on. Whew. Sorry, throat's a lot of talking. But yeah. Sabotage. But she obviously knows that the family's in there, so she pulls the alarm. I don't know if museums really have this. Like, I don't know if I don't know if security does that, where it just, like, shutters everything. And not even everything. Obviously, there was a window that Henry was able to get through. Also, it is funny because, like, the taxidermist did, like, an impossible shot while Paddington is, like, full sprinting. And, like, hit him in the neck, which was pretty impressive, but now she has Stormtrooper aim. And then we got the specimen room, which is all, like, I'm pretty sure that's formaldehyde and stuff like that the solutions are in to, like, preserve the different specimens they have. And then just comes along and find, like, oh, there's your escape, an incinerator. And then there is a little backstory to that, but I just love, like, clearly you know what they were inspired by. It was Mission Impossible. You even, like, it's so great that they're all like, you know what, this is an homage to Mission Impossible, but, you know, with Paddington. So they do the Mission Impossible theme, which is great. Also, I don't think the furnace would just turn on. I don't think it's timed. Like, because that's clearly an incinerator, not like a normal furnace. Like, it's not like heating the place. But yeah, and this happened a little bit earlier in the movie, but Paddington was able to teach Judy bear, so now she knows how to speak bear. And unlike her father, who only said what was probably a cuss word or something very bad, she actually knows the language fully. So, which is pretty fun, and like that's a fun little homage back to hearing that Judy was learning Chinese and stuff like that. But yeah, you get the little tense moment of him climbing out. He's all like, "Oh, it's about to. Of course, they're about to die." Funny thing is that if those things are about to die, that is a short, like, charge for the vacuums. Also, and this is kind of a nice culmination of showing that Henry, is kind of, he's still protective, but he's over being like so overly protective, literally holding Judy and Jonathan in a chimney to grab Paddington. Like, even if, like, with one small slip that they could fall down. But yeah, just so you guys know, in about 2 minutes, ads will start again. I'm sorry, there's so...
You know, I'm something of a scientist myself.
Hello, how are you? I'm talking about Paddington. I hope you guys are enjoying. Also, you're all good, Daru. But welcome to the Lab Rats. You got some fun follower emotes now. Ooh, the guy that's been in every movie. Yeah, basically. But yeah, no, this is, as you can see, the title of this is Mission Impossible Paddington. They made a Mission Impossible movie with Paddington. The bear. But yeah, but welcome, Daru. I think this is your first time ever or for going to a movie club. But this is the little show I do. It's called Vtuber Movie Club, where I talk about movies. Usually I have other people, but I have like a lot of different friends come on and we just talk through movies and talk about things we like and everything like that. So it's a lot of fun. But yeah. Today I don't have anybody, so it's just me. But I get to, this makes it that I can talk to the audience more, because it's harder to talk about this or talk to the audience during these. So now I can like answer questions and everything like that. Just so you guys know, ads are gonna start in about 30 seconds. I'm really, really sorry. I wish I could like turn those off and like not have you get pre-rolls that take years to finish, but this is the best I can do at the moment. So I will try. I'm not going to go any further. Like, we'll come back and talk more about this scene, because it's actually, once again, beautifully animated. It's so great. And just all that. But ads are about to start in about 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we'll continue on when we get back. Ooh, but yeah, so like this has been fun. Like, this has actually been a really nice time. I've had actually a lot to say about Paddington, seeing as how it's already been an hour and 13 minutes. I'm very smart. I apparently can talk about a kids movie all by myself for about an hour and 13. So, but okay, ads have officially started. So, got all the Paddington knowledge, the lore. You know what? Totally. I've watched this movie one time, but you know what? I could tell you everything that happens in the movie, at least. That's about as best as I could do. But Yeah, no. But this is a great little movie. I'll keep reminding myself, or like keep on saying that it is just a fun movie. Like, and I don't know. I think a lot of people nowadays, like critics and everything like that, they're just so hung up on, oh, every story has to like have some big meaning in it, or it's like, oh, we need to like have something big and epic going on. Whereas I miss the days where a movie was just all like, let's just have some fun. Like even horror movies, which I shouldn't bring up while we're talking about kids movies, but horror movies are like that. A lot of it nowadays all like, oh, they have to have some deep meaning and stuff like that. Whereas I just enjoy a good old fashioned like, oh, let's just have some fun. Let's have some bad characters, and stuff like that in a horror movie. And like have like a very like cheesy plot, and I just wish we were back to there. Okay. Welcome back from the ads. Sorry about that. But Daru, you are correct. This is all the Paddington knowledge. I've read every book. I am actually British. This is my fake American accent that nobody knows about. So, but anyway, this is the last scene of actually mostly the movie as well that we're going to be going over. We got I titled it "Knew That Emergency Sandwich Would Be Important," which is true. So basically throughout the entire movie they keep on coming back to this running, it's not even a joke, just this running theme of Paddington keeps a marmalade sandwich in his hat at all times in case of emergencies. And he learned that from his uncle. So he's all like, "Yep, I got it. Keep it on, like keep a sandwich in your hat." And it is a nice thing that he does. It's like it's in memory of his father or his uncle, who was basically his father. He was raised by his uncle and aunt. And it's a nice little memento to be all like, oh, keep a marmalade sandwich in your hat. But anyway, so Paddington and the Browns meet up on the roof, but the taxidermist corners them and threatens to hurt the Browns unless Paddington decides to turn himself into her. Luckily, there is a sandwich in his hat. And we'll just start the clip. Sorry if it's all like weird looking, like jittery. It's not on your guys' end. It's sometimes it does that when I upload, like get a video on here. It just starts jittering. But yeah, of course we get the nice climactic like, no, even though he's a bear, he's family. We love him. He's all a part. He's like, he's one of us, and we're gonna protect him just like the rest of our kids and stuff like that. Yeah, you know, you got that heartfelt message for everybody. Like, it doesn't matter where you're from, you can make your own family. You can, yes, and family always sticks together and stuff like that kind of message. Though, of course, once again, now you get to show how sadistic she is. Like, literally, she's all like, you know what, I've never stuffed a human, but I will. I could do it. She has no quarrels about doing that. She is psychotic. But, you know, it's once again just that kind of, like, dry British humor of, like, having, like, this big inspirational speech. No, he's family. It doesn't matter that he's a bear or that he comes from the other side of the world, because we love him and he's family, and family stays together and we protect each other. And immediately he's all like, if you want him, you're gonna have to go through me. And she's all like, all right, I'll go through you. And he's like, wait, what? Oh, what? That isn't gonna stop you? And of course we got Mrs. Bird, which is actually a great, I don't know, I think that's once again just a hidden joke, having her be defeated by a pack of, like, a flock of pigeons. And then of course Mrs. Bird opens up the roof and knocks her off the roof. But once again, is a kids movie that isn't made in like the 80s or 90s, so you know, we have to show that the villain is actually safe. But we'll watch it one more time since this is the last clip for Paddington. But and once again, you just get this, it's nice, beautifully shot. Once again, like you get this stressful like scene and everything like that. Like the last like 10 or 20 minutes of this movie is all dark, which is complete contrast in earlier the movie, like how I brought up how the train station is all brightly lit and everything like that, and like in earlier in the movie you get like very bright colors. In the last 20 minutes you get very dark scenes, you get very mild colors like white or dark like brown and stuff like that. And that just goes into more like color theory that I have no expertise on, but it's still a nice thing to talk about. And and like obviously like it's fun because that means you just know, you could tell what it shifts. Like it goes from, oh, this fun like kids movie, like childish, yada yada, and then boom, it like all the colors gone. Now we're serious because Paddington's gonna get kidnapped and almost get stuffed and stuff like that. So, but yeah, no, it's so much fun and enjoyable in this aspect. So, but yeah, and we'll so, but yeah, no, it's just a fun movie overall, and like I was saying, just like it's for a kids movie especially, having fun is the most important thing. And it doesn't mean that they can't have a deep message. This movie has a deep message under, like, in the back, like about family. It doesn't matter where you come from. And I know it's very generic of a like important message, but dude, who cares? You don't need to. It's all right to have that same message. But that's Paddington, a great little kids movie. Highly recommend it, even if you're an adult and you're just all like, if you want something just fun, if you're like in the mood, if you're like, I don't want something serious, I don't want anything dark, put on some Paddington, like put on this movie. It's nice and fun, and just like very lighthearted, and you don't need to worry about it too much. So, like you just get to have a fun time, and you get some funny scenes, and you get to see this like beautiful animation and stuff like that. So highly recommend it. But those are probably my final thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed Paddington. It was a great discussion. That was an hour and 20 minutes that I talked about Paddington. So let's see how long I can go with Super Mario Bros. You guys ready? Good. Let's do it. So next up, we got the ever lovely Super Mario Brothers movie. It was released in April 5th of 2023. It's not the most recent movie that we have done. I still need to watch this. Ooh, Daru. It's so much fun. Daru, if you want, I will gladly watch it with you. Okay? If we want to sit down and watch it, I love this movie. So, I will gladly watch it with you, Daru. I should since it's on Netflix. It is on Netflix. That is where I watched it. But I do also own this on Vudu. Cause I bought it like immediately when I could. So bet, dude, Daru, not even a bet. We're going to do it. All right, we're gonna sit down and just watch Super Mario Bros. All right, it's not even a bet, cause it's just gonna happen. But yeah, like I was saying, this is not the most recent movie we've ever done on Movie Club. The most recent movie has been 2 days after a movie released with Five Nights at Freddy's. So while this came out this year, it's still not the like fastest turnaround with a movie that we have done. But to finish going over the general stuff, it's directed by Aaron Horvath and Michael Jelenic. I can't really. Sorry, Michael. I'm not great at last names. It's very hard at times. But anyway, like usual, start off with the characters. And of course, we're gonna start with Mario, the big name here, otherwise known as Jumpman, who is voiced by Chris Pratt, which I think everybody knows at this point, if you kept up with news about this movie. Basically, Chris Pratt voices him, who's Star-Lord, who's in Parks and Rec, who was in Onward, and about a million other things. If you're on the internet during the time of the reveal, you get all the jokes and what everybody was saying about Mario, him voicing Mario. So, but basically, quick summary: if you don't know the character, he's a plumber in in Brooklyn. I was gonna say New York. I mean that counts, but whatever. With his little brother Luigi. Mario is viewed as a screw-up by his family, but does his best to help out his brother. Once he gets separated from his brother, he will do anything to get him back. I know I said brother about 4 times in that one sentence, but this movie is basically just brother. It's the biggest thing. It's like that brotherly bond, having each other's back, and just doing anything you can to protect them. So, but also before we 100% get into the movie, I will say the animation in this movie once again is done by Illumination, which I know a lot of people aren't oh, it's Illumination, the Minions guys, yeah, funny, haha. I will say Illumination's animation has always been amazing, and this is a culmination of all that talent that they have done. This movie looks absolutely beautiful. Just look the detail on the clothes, everyone in the background. Just, it's so good, and it's just, the animation is amazing, and I will be gushing about it even more when we get farther along. Next up, we got the little brother Luigi, as you will, voiced by Charlie Day, who Charlie Day's in a ton of tons of shows and movies I should not bring up, but because this is probably if kids watch, but he's in Always Sunny in Philadelphia, he's in Horrible Bosses, he's mainly known for a lot of adult shows and movies, but he is absolutely hilarious, and I think he voices Luigi perfectly, to be truthful. But he is also a plumber from Brooklyn with his older brother Mario. Luigi has always been the timid one of the duo and is a massive klutz. I had to Google how to spell klutz. I spelt it with a C last night. But has a sweetheart. I meant sweetheart. And knows that Mario is the best guy in the world. He needs to learn to fend for himself when he gets separated from his brother. That's kind of right and also kind of a lie, but don't worry about that. Next, we got the big bad. I know I usually save the big bad for the end, but come on. Look at his presence. Look at, once again, beautifully animated. Look at that smile. We can't save him for last. We gotta talk about him now. But it's Bowser, King Koopa here, voiced by Jack Black. Once again, perfect, chef's kiss, perfect voice act, perfect cast. It was beautiful. Alright? And he does an amazing job, and I'm just gonna already say that. But anyway, Bowser rules over his party of minions with an iron fist. but has a sweet side to him whenever he talks about Peach. He is the big bad and hates Mario with a burning passion because of all the attention he gets from Peach. I know you guys are probably hoping to hear the Peaches song, the song of the summer, and I love that song as well, but no way in hell am I going to be able to get that through copyright. So I'm sad that I couldn't add it. But, you know, I will listen to it about 5 times because it's short and it's just very cool, and I wish it was longer. But, yeah. Next, we got the very powerful Princess Peach. She is really cool in this movie. She's very strong, independent throughout it. And she's voiced by Anya Taylor-Joy, who I believe... I don't know many shows and movies Anya Taylor-Joy has been in, but I know she has been in a few. I don't know why Game of Thrones popped into my head. I don't think she was in that. But she's been in a lot of things as well. Sadly, I can't think any of on the top of my head, and usually I would Google, but sometimes it takes a while to Google at times, so... But anyway, Princess Peach here. She's the princess of the Mushroom Kingdom, who would have guessed. Peach was raised by the Toads who lived there, and when she grew old enough, they made her their princess. She is the only human in the Mushroom Kingdom, so she is surprised. My mom just texted who? I don't know what she meant by who, unless she is listening and then it means Anya Taylor-Joy. I don't remember what she has been in. But anyway, when she grew old enough, they made her their princess. She is the only human in the Mushroom Kingdom, so she is surprised when she first meets Mario for the first time. You know, I wrote that sentence correctly and then said it wrong. I'm the best at reading. Next, love it. Okay. Okay, here we go. Anya Taylor-Joy, my mom coming in clutch with the, with what she has. The Witch. Alright, horror, if you're into, like, more psychological horror, it's a pretty good movie. It's not my cup of tea, but I know a lot of people loved it. And she was Queen's Gambit, a different Netflix movie, or show. And she, I believe, played the title character of the Queen's Gambit. So, but yeah. We got 2 more characters. I'm going to try and speed through the characters because an ad's about to start again. I really wish I could make this not as long, like, show up as many times as it does, but kind of stuck. But anyway, we got Toad, voiced by Keegan-Michael Key, well known for a ton of different things, but obviously his most popular thing is Key and Peele on Comedy Central. Once again, kids, don't look that up if you're too young. Also, ads are going to start in 3 minutes, just so you guys know. But yeah, it's voiced by Keegan-Michael Key, well known for Key and Peele. He does comedy, and sketch comedy is where he shines best with Jordan Peele. But he's been in a million other movies and has done he's done some serious roles as well as comedy. He's not just a comedy guy, if I remember correctly. And he's a great actor. And his voice is very iconic, but it's actually... I wish... my biggest gripe about Toad in this movie is I wish he just used his normal voice. He uses a Toad voice, which is fine. It's fine, but I think it's more funny hearing Toad have his voice. I think it's just... I don't know, because, like, Keegan-Michael Key kind of has, like, a little bit deeper voice, and obviously, whenever you get anybody plays Mario games, you hear Toad be all like, "I'm Toad!" And just, like, high-pitched, very, like, all that. He goes, like, a higher pitch, but not that high. but I still kind of wish he had that more deeper voice. But that all different Toads have deeper voices, and they're very funny, so it works out. Anyway, Toad is one of the many Toads that live in the Mushroom Kingdom, and if you're confused on why I said Toad so much, it's because they're called Toads, and he is named Toad. It's very confusing, and I will probably get confused, or you will be confused when I talk about this later. He is the first to meet Mario, so he decides to bring him to the castle so he can meet Peach. Shortly after, he declares himself Mario's best friend and follows along to protect Peach. I don't know about you guys. Shortly after meeting someone, just saying, you know what, we're best friends. Just like instantly. I mean, you do have those like connections with some people, but being a like best friend right there, look, yeah. But I love him for it. Like, I wish I had the balls to be like that. Oh, whoops, we're kid friendly. Sorry, I wish I had the cojones. I don't know if they know Spanish. To be all like, yeah, I just met this guy. He's my best friend. Best friend right here. Best guy in the world. Okay. I at least finished Toad, but ads are about to start in about 12 seconds, just so you guys know. Like I said, trying to do a better job of warning you guys, just so you... And so we got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I will see you guys after the ads. I really want to try to suppress or like lower the amount of ads, but it's hard. And like I want to lower how frequently they show up, but sadly Twitch is just like this. I gotta play by Twitch's rules, and if I don't want you guys having like 9 ads in a row when you guys try and join my stream with pre-rolls. I would rather be able to control it myself and be all like, okay, like I can at least warn you and be like, hey, ads are about to start. If you need to go do something real quick, go do it. And this probably it sucks that I have to do that. If I could, I would do ad free for everybody, because I mean, why wouldn't you? Like, I would rather you guys have your entertainment and I don't need to break up what I'm talking about just for ads to start. So, but I appreciate it immensely, and I'll say it again when everybody gets out of the ads, for the people that are in an ad. I do appreciate it immensely. Thank you for putting up with it. I know it's annoying, but one, it does help me. It gives me like a more stable income doing this, and all that. It only gives me a little bit, but it still helps out. And you know, I very much appreciate that you sit through them. I really do. I know ads aren't great, and if I could, I wouldn't have it just be, oh, you have to get a subscription to not have ads. It sucks, but that's just how it goes. And well, there is also Twitch Turbo, which they don't advertise off like very well, but Twitch Turbo gives you free ads on any channel, and any channel you watch, they still get the ad revenue of as if you were watching the ads. So it's pretty cool. It's only like $11 a month, so it's like it's basically a free subscription to every channel. It's actually pretty cool. Not a free subscription. You pay money to it. Don't listen to me. I'm very dumb with words when it comes with that. But welcome back from the ads, guys. Once again, I really appreciate that Chef sit through those. I'm sorry that I have to put them on. Otherwise, you get massive pre-rolls, and it's not fun if I do that. At least here I can control it better and be able to tell you, hey, an ad's gonna start. So, but anyway, we can get back into the discussion. So we got the last character of the main characters. There's a million characters in this movie, and they're all great. I love all of them. But these are just the main characters. Let's face it. I could sit here and talk about each individual character, and they're like importance to the story and everything like that, but that would take forever. And come on, we want to get to the clips. But the last one we got, certainly not least in the slightest, we got Donkey Kong, otherwise known as DK, voiced by Seth Rogen. Once again, phenomenal actor, been in a million other things. Very well known for, like, once again, getting more like adult comedy-esque, so like Pineapple Express, This Is the End, and Freaks and Geeks, for like being his like starting, like that's where he started. But yeah, he's been in a million things, and he's been in like kids movie. His voice is very recognizable even to kids, because he's done voice acting for like kids movies as well. So, but his voice is just, it's an interesting choice for Donkey Kong, but it's still really fun. So I mean, it's just fun. But we got Donkey Kong is the son of Cranky Kong, who rules the Kong Empire. Being the son of the ruler, he is pitted against Mario in a fight to see if they can win the right to use the Kong army. Sorry, I was thirsty. Donkey Kong really doesn't like Mario, but a friendship starts to bloom anyway. And that goes back and forth. Mario doesn't really like Donkey Kong, and Donkey Kong don't really like Mario. But yeah, Cranky Kong is Donkey Kong's dad, and fun video game fact, or at least I believe it's, if I'm correct on my Donkey Kong lore, the original, like, NES Donkey Kong, where, like, you have Jumpman, who is technically Mario, jumping over barrels and, like, climbing ladders to go save a damsel in distress. That is actually Cranky Kong, like, lore-wise. And Donkey Kong is, like, the newer ones and stuff like that. Because I think in this Donkey Kong is like Donkey Kong Country Donkey Kong, where like platformers and everything like that, he's like the hero. And I believe that lore comes from Donkey Kong Country. Like, if you talk to Cranky Kong in those games, he reminisces about how he fought a plumber, or like, and stuff like that. So, but yeah. Just a fun little Donkey Kong lore that may or may not be right. Who knows? I'm just kind of talking out my butt. But anyway, we got the first clip. This is a little farther into the movie. This is actually 20 minutes into the movie or so. It's pretty far into there. So, but this is when Mario and Luigi end up going to, like, these magical world, like, they go to Mushroom Kingdom and stuff like that. So that, I wanted to start it there. I probably could have gotten more of the beginning stuff, but I'll just explain it because it's easier. And I titled this is just a horror movie. This is creepy. This first clip's actually just kind of creepy, and if you're a little kid watching this in the movie theater, you're probably kind of freaked out. But after trying to stop the water pipes from overflowing in Brooklyn, Mario and Luigi I misspelled that. I said stubble. I meant stumble upon a weird green pipe and get sucked into a weird wormhole. This leads to Mario and Luigi being separated, with Mario going to the Mushroom Kingdom and Luigi to Bowser's Kingdom. They call it the Darklands in the movie, but it's essentially Bowser's Kingdom from the games. You know, fire, brimstone, dry bones everywhere. But like I said, I'm going to explain more of the beginning of this movie just so you have more context going into this scene. Basically, in Brooklyn, Mario and Luigi just opened up their own plumbing company, which they call the Super Mario Bros. And they, like, it's really cute. They have, like, a fun ad and stuff like that. But in doing so, they left another plumbing position that is, like, a way more successful company, and just, like, has more jobs. It had better job security, but they wanted to go out of their own because their old boss was a bully. And so they wanted to go out on their own, so they did, and they get their first job, and while it was successful for like 2 seconds, all of a sudden something goes wrong. I'm not going to tell you what, so obviously I don't know if Daru's still here. I don't think Daru is, because obviously we're going to watch this movie. I don't know if he wants to be spoiled about what's going to happen, because this will be spoilers. But it ends up getting all messed up. They basically like lose the client, and so they go home, and most of Mario and Luigi's family makes fun of Mario, not Luigi. Make fun of Mario, like can't believe you let your brother leave a stable job to do this dumb going out on your own business, which is very sad. The only one that's like really supportive is his mother during that scene. And then Luigi, like Mario goes off to his room, Luigi comes in and the news comes on, stating that there's a plumbing issue in Brooklyn somewhere. It says a street, I don't know what the street name is, and because of this, like, so much water is just overflowing onto the street. So Mario and Luigi, being plumbers, are all like, this is our big break. This is how we're going to show that we have business. Like, that we're so good at our job, we can save the city. In quotations, they're plumbers. So they go and they try and turn it off. And, like I said, they stumble across a green warp pipe. They go in. And they get separated, with Mario going to the Mushroom Kingdom and Luigi going to Bowser's Kingdom. And that's where the clip finally goes. I know that was a big, long explanation, but there was a lot to explain. So the rest of the clips are pretty self-explanatory, so I won't have to go into like big, long explanations of what's going on. But now that we got the setup out of the way, once again, just gonna state it. Animation, beautiful. Everything in this, like, whole sequence, this whole movie is just beautiful. Like, if you just look at the detail on Luigi's flashlight, his overall, like, just any of the clothes, and the detail of having all of, I love dry bones. This really does play out like a horror movie. Like, and dry bones, like, getting to the, like, red fire eye, that would be terrifying. And then, of course, Luigi accidentally, like, knocking him away and, like, breaking him up. You just got Luigi'd. But, of course, if you played the games, dry bones comes back together, which means that they're immortal, which is interesting. Unless you use, like, an ice flower. But yeah, this turns into very much like a zombie movie, like them crawling out of the ground and everything, and just chasing him. And then there's it basically is Bowser's castle, but not exactly. It's kind of iffy, but like I said, they call it the Darklands in this one, but the lighting is great. Like, you get the brightness from the lava, you get just the rest of it being all dark and hard to see, and then you get this the lightning coming in, going off, and then hitting, like, Luigi being, scared, because I'd be scared in this situation too, but then he, like, gives himself some relief, and then boom, Shy Guy. It's just a wonderfully animated scene. Like, it's just insane what they did. Like, all the detail, if you look at the little detail of just their toolbox and everything, like, all the different things they have, it's just amazing. And, like, all the wood, and, like, and even, like, him getting caught on that little branch, like you see like the rest of the plant kind of move just to with him and stuff like that. It's so beautifully animated. I'm gonna skip a little bit around just cause, but like all the, like, just think about how much, like, this little scene, like this little bit, just all the work that goes into all those individual pieces coming and forming together. Like, that's just beautiful. But all right, we'll go on because there's not really much else to say about that one. Okay, this time we got early training montage. Let's go. So, after being taken to the princess by Toad, Mario tries to convince Peach to take him with her when she goes on the journey to get the Kong army. To do that, Mario must be able to pass a training course that Peach shows off to him. Okay, I know I said I wasn't showing the Peach song because of copyright. There's a very copyrighted song in this section, but it's cool, so I might just like put it very, very low so you can barely hear it. But it's holding out with a hero. But this is fun, so like you get like a fun training montage, like, of Mario trying to prove himself. And it's really nice. So yeah, I'm gonna have to you're coming with me. Watch and learn. Yeah. So basically Peach says, if you can do this, I will take you with me. Which is nice of her. Like, she could obviously just say, yeah, no, you're not coming with me. But and that's like, this is like the biggest difference from the games to this movie. They make Peach very like self-reliant, and she can fend for herself. And they do that sometimes in the games. Like in the games, like obviously you can play as her, do exactly what Mario does. But there are just, and I love the little, and I know I'm talking over it and you can probably not hear it, but the little detail of the goal being just a flag post from the games, because like, come on, that's just so cool. It's a little detail. But when she does it, you hear the do 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 the victory music, and it's just like, it's so cool. Like, this is why this movie works, is that they added all these little details that fans of the games can listen to and be all like, oh, like it can bring back memories of like playing Mario for the first time. And I love the detail that Mario in this movie does not like mushrooms, but he's being forced to eat mushrooms to get like these power-ups. And so, and you get like, so you basically also get like a quick explanation of like how power-ups work in the game and stuff like that. So, and I do like that they make Mario a short king, just like how he is in the video games. He's not tall. He gets a little bit tall when he eats a mushroom, but he's still not as tall as Peach. And I love the Cheep Cheeps. Cheep Cheeps are always adorable. When you get hit, you lose the power. And even just that, where Peach is all like, oh yeah, when you get hit, you lose the power. It's just like really quick like that. But yeah, of course now we got the music playing, so I really gotta keep talking. But it's just a fun montage. Every hero movie needs like a montage. This is a hero movie. It's not like a superhero movie, but it is still a hero movie, and that you just need a one. I do like that him throwing up counts as getting hit. Because obviously I also like it too, because clearly eating, you have, like, he's done this for hours, and like each try can't be more than like a couple minutes, so like him throwing up would be very like normal because he's eaten so many of them. But then you just see how far he goes. I love this little detail. When he slides, he grabs onto the falling brick so that he could keep his momentum. Love that detail. I always loved catching that. And I also love that it's just him trying to show off, be all like, yeah, princess, look at me. A little smile, and then just and didn't make it. But it's just so much fun. But and obviously Peach trying to like reassure him and be all like, no, it took me so many times to complete before I completed this course. And when in truth it took like 2 seconds for her. But her just being all like, well, I grew up here. You're not used to this world. It's very nice and very friendly. And you just see that they have a friendship forming and stuff like that. So for copyright reasons, I could go into more like detail and talk more about this scene, but for copyright, I'm going to have to move on. Sadly. But here we go, the big man. I called this DK, Donkey Kong. After making it to the Kong Empire, Princess Peach and Mario talk to Cranky Kong to see if he will let them use his army, but he refuses and decides that if he can beat Donkey Kong in a fight, he will let the princess and Mario use his army. There's another ad break in about a little less than 3 minutes, so I'm not going to play the clip yet, but I could talk more about like the lead up to this. Like, not much has happened. I will say that this is probably one of like my biggest gripes about the movie. Obviously they made a big deal of like, oh, it's gonna be a tough journey for Peach to go to the Kong Empire. But and then after like the training sequence, like that's why Mario has to prove himself. But like after the training sequence, there's just another quick montage, and they're just there. Like there's a quick montage, a little like talking scene between Peach and Mario, which is very cute, very nice. You guys should, if you haven't seen it, I'm not gonna spoil it, so that we have at least that way you have some mystery about what goes on in this movie. And then they're there. That's it. But I feel as though that kind of goes away from a little bit. Oh wait, there's a ditto. I want a ditto. I'm gonna try catching this ditto in chat. Sorry. But this kind of takes a little bit away from like the training that was required. Because it's just all like, hey, guess what? They're there now, and that's it. And I kind of wish that they spent more time on like kind of building the friendship between Peach and Mario. Like they could, like, I know there's that cute little talking scene. Also, there's less than a minute before the ad, just so you know. And I wish that they could have done more like scenes, I think, before going just immediately to the Kong Empire. But I understand this movie's not even an hour and a half. This is like an hour and 20-minute long movie. It's a very short movie, especially compared to nowadays. Which one of the things though is that that is an A+ in my book. Like every movie nowadays has to be over 2 hours, and it's a lot. And I love movies, and I could sit there and watch movies for hours, but it's a lot. But this is only like an hour and 20. So, by the way, we got 10 seconds before ads. I'll start counting. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, I'll see you after the ads. Hell yeah. Wait, sorry, kid friendly. Heck yeah. I caught a ditto. But yeah, so like that's probably just one of the only gripes I have about this movie. There isn't many. I don't know if I'm not throwing my hat in with the Chris Pratt casting. I have my own views on that, but it's fine. But ad has officially started, just so people know. Well, people that are watching the ad know, but so the audience that doesn't have ads right now knows. I'm not throwing my hat in on that argument. he does a fine. It's fine. I wish that. I'm just not gonna get into it. It's a lot. I wish he did an accent, but it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, I will go over again that the animation is just beautiful. Like, like just looking at this door has so much detail into it and stuff. Like, you literally see, like, oh, there's a hole in the wood. There's like that you could tell that door has aged and has been like weathered through the storm, like through some storms and stuff like that. It's just immaculate detail, and they put in so much love and effort to this, and I really do enjoy it. And Illumination, while the stories aren't always the best, their animation has never been like subpar, really. Like, you go back and watch Despicable Me and stuff, it's still great animation for the time, and they've just gotten better. So they are not lazy with the animation. Welcome back from the ads. Alright, let's do this. We're going to be introduced to DK. As you can probably see at the top, it says Mario versus Donkey Kong scene. Try and guess what that means. Okay, I'm putting up the volume. Here we go. I loved this scene, alright? This scene was so cool. I loved it. Specifically from the start, hearing the DK rap. When I first watched, so my sister and brother-in-law and my mom all went and saw this in theaters. I was having my ulcerative colitis was acting up, so like my stomach just was not having it, so I didn't go and see it. But once this came out on Vudu, I bought it and I watched it with my sister and my brother-in-law, and I'm literally sitting there. It gets to this scene with Donkey Kong, and I'm all like, oh, it would be so cool if the DK rap just started playing. And I didn't think they were gonna do it. I was just all like, I don't know. It'd be so cool if it did, but I don't think they're gonna do it. Immediately hearing that DK rap come in was awesome, and just like them just having clear fun with it. Also, I do love. They're gonna make a sequel to this. It's just gonna happen. And when they do, I hope they add Diddy Kong a little bit more. Or, what would be cooler is maybe before they do a sequel to this movie, they do a Donkey Kong Country movie with like DK and Diddy Kong being like the main leads, and Dixie Kong and all them. That would be pretty cool. But yeah. And this scene's also great because you get introduced. We've only been introduced to the fire flower and the normal red mushroom, but this one is where we get to learn about, oh hey, mini mushroom being a thing. I think the only thing with this specifically is that the funny thing is that the mini mushroom, which appeared in the DS games for the first time, I think it was New Super Mario Brothers or something like that. The mini mushroom was actually very powerful. Like, a lot of speedrunners use it because you go super fast and you jump super high. Like, it's a very powerful item, surprisingly. And so it's funny that in this movie they make it that it isn't good. Also, I love the detail that, like, Donkey Kong just blowing out the fire flower and just being like, and then you can't use the power anymore. That's just a fun detail. I love that. Which gives it a way more unique look into what the powers are like outside of the games. Like, this is how it would be, like, more realistically in the biggest quotations in the world. But yeah, the box. And of course you get Princess Peach supporting Mario, being all like, hey, don't forget, come on, just keep trying different power-ups, you'll find it. And then, of course, we get Cat Mario, Furry Mario. Oh, and I love that everybody's all like, oh, it's adorable. And I love that Donkey Kong is laughing his butt off because he's all like, oh, you got the cat power-up. So he knew about the cat power-up. But he doesn't realize how powerful the cat power-up is, which luckily the cat power-up is very powerful in Super Mario 3D World. So I'm glad that they gave it the recognition it deserved in this one. And of course we get a little bit of, oh, there's Donkey Kong throwing barrels, you know, reminiscent of Donkey Kong for the arcade and NES. But, and then just boom, like just how powerful the cat is. And once again, I'm going to talk about the animation. I'm going to talk about the animation a lot. It's just going to happen. Like, if you like, look close on, like, the detail with Donkey Kong, like, the individual hairs on him, it's just immaculate. I love it so much. So, yeah. That's a long video, so I won't replay it again, but, and I think we got the gist of it. So, obviously, Mario proves himself. He has that can-do, he never gives up attitude, and that's what wins him the day. So, yeah. So now we got, we got like I think we got 3 clips left before we're done. But it's still such a great time. Also, I caught the Ditto, just so people know. Very happy about that. This time, it's titled, This Was a Great Little Easter Egg. And Daru, if you're still here, you better click away now. You also should have clicked away a while ago, because just so you know. But this is just I actually, this is another gripe, I'll say, because if you watch the trailer, and that's just a gripe with movie trailers nowadays, they ruin too much. Nowadays you can only watch the teaser trailer, which is 50-50 on it's good enough to be all like, oh, this is going to be an interesting thing, or be like, I have no idea what this movie is going to be about. But the trailer, I believe, spoiled that Rainbow Road was going to be in it. Spoiler alert. That it's going to be in the movie. Which sucks. Like, this is a fun, like, reveal. They should have not shown it in the trailer. But anyway, the gang is ready to take the fight to Bowser with the help of the Kong army and their new carts. The group of friends believe they have the strength to fight back against Bowser, but sadly Bowser knows of their plans, so he sends his army to ambush them on a familiar road. And so now we'll just start the clip. This is a 6-minute long clip. A lot of these last ones, I was all like the clips that I was finding from movie clips were like too short. It was only 2 minutes, and you were missing so much context. I'm all like, there's so many like fun things for this, so. And so I kind of went out my way to find longer clips that looked nice, so. But I do love like all of their iconic like carts. Like I believe Peach has the motorcycle, Mario has that cart, and we all know it. Like, you've played Mario Kart, you've seen those carts, and it's just great. Toad having the giant truck is great. But
Is there anything like this in your world?
but yeah. And them just like I do like that they acknowledge that Mario's just from Brooklyn. Like, he is a normal human, and this is all just completely new to him, like a magical world. Like, to him, this is our normal world. Like, our normal world is his world. So that's pretty fun. Though Toad is the best, like, it's great because Mario here, he doesn't have one wingman. He has two wingmen in Luigi and Toad. Both of them are all like, he's the best guy in the world, which is just so sweet. But yeah, obviously we got them all being ambushed, like they just said. But I also like the detail of the carts in this movie. Like, obviously in Mario Kart, which I'm sure many of us have played at least once in our lives, the items just appear behind you. Like, oh, the shells just appear behind you, and then you can throw them. But in this movie, they're all like, okay, let's add like a Gatling of green shells. That way, you know, it actually has like a propulsion system and stuff like that. And then, oh yeah, and then you get the drift boost, which is just another sweet detail if you played Mario Kart. And then this is very, like, I think this showed up in Mario Kart 7, but the gravity shift, and obviously it's in Mario Kart 8 and everything, like, it's just fun. Bullet bills. It's just, there's so much detail that went into all these scenes. It's so great. I mean, they've had decades worth of they've had decades worth of games and assets to look through that it would be kind of bad if they didn't have these details, but they added their own to it. They didn't just like be like, okay, yeah, copy that from, oh cool, that's from, yeah, let's just use that. Now they made it their own. Like, all the weapons and the carts are kind of unique to like be able to fire like shoot stuff and stuff like that. Okay, when I was watching, when I did the other show I do, Bring Your Own Subscription, where we actually sit down and watch these movies, basically, there's the glider. When I was watching this, I was all like, you know what? Because obviously they have to make Mario Kart 9 soon. They really do. Don't get me wrong, Mario Kart 8 is amazing, and it's cool that they released all the booster pack, like, tracks and stuff like that, but they need to make a Mario Kart 9 soon. And when I was watching this scene, I'm all like, oh, you know what would be really cool? Destructible courses. I think that's like the next step they should go to with Mario Kart. Like, what if you're like literally on Rainbow Road and you can just make a hole into it and stuff like that? Obviously it would have to be like player tested, but still, it would be like so cool to have that, like have it be like in this movie where Rainbow Road like breaks apart. Also, I love that the blue shell literally is used and goes after the not the first place, it just homes in, which is great. But yeah, just think like Mario Kart 9, like all, like, you can make Rainbow Road shatter, obviously not that much, like maybe just like little spaces, but like that would be so cool. And once again, beautiful animation with like how the Rainbow Road is essentially glass, and it just like fragments apart. So
Goodbye, Mario.
We have to get home.
but yeah. And then that's actually Bowser's castle / kingdom. But it's fine. I do like that Donkey Kong is blaming him. It's like, this is your fault. And then, but yeah. And then that's how Donkey Kong dies. Drowns, guys. Nice, cheery kids movie. Of course, we got Mario coming in and saving him. And you get, and the eel from the games as well. If you've played New Super Mario Bros. On the Wii, like the eels coming out, that's a fun detail. So I just like that Donkey Kong's all like, you saved my life. I won't tell anyone. please don't tell anyone I got saved by you. That would suck. And then they get eaten. And that's how so Mario and Donkey Kong are gone. How do you guys think the movie is going to turn out? It's obviously Toad and Peach are going to bring this on home. Okay, once again, we got these last two are longer. I titled this Wedding Crashers. Once again, I was tired last night, and I thought this would be a funny title, you know, like the movie Wedding Crashers. But after getting ambushed, Peach decides to marry Bowser to save her toads. With a little help, she shows she is not ready to back down without a fight. At the same time, Mario and DK arrive after being separated from the rest of the group, and smashing starts. Smashing. But we'll just get into the clip. We got Kamek being there. Dude, Bowser put on, like, a great wedding, alright? Like, I know we're kind of skipping through the wedding scene, but, like, this wedding is beautiful. I would marry him. I know he's, like, psychotic, but he's so sweet as well. If he offered to marry me, I'd probably do it. Also, he's king. That's pretty cool. But no, the wedding's actually really pretty. I also love, you got all, like, the bosses. You got King Boo, you got Petey Piranha, you have King Babam, and all of them, like, attending the wedding. And, you know, it's rather fitting that King Babam totally is just sleeping at the wedding. Because, to be truthful, I get it. Not all weddings are, like, the funnest things to go to. But yeah. And then, once again, like, you got that, you listen closely, you get that, freaking music detail just going in with the, like, just a revamped, Mario song. And you get to see, like, all of different Mario's moves that he does in the game and everything. And not only that, we get Fire Donkey Kong, which is not a thing we've ever seen in the games. It would be really cool if we did. And same with Ice Peach. I don't think she was able to get the ice power. I don't think she was in one to get the ice power, so that's pretty cool. And of course we have Tanuki Mario, which Mario skinned a Tanuki to get. Or at least that's what PETA believes. But yeah. And just, like, I like that King Babam's just sleeping at the wedding. So, like, what? So, okay, this should end before the ads start, but we got ads in about 3.5 minutes, just so you know. But yeah, once again, we get beautiful. I know I've said that in every clip. That's Luma. I'm not even gonna explain Luma, because they are hilarious, and it's more fun going in blind if you have not seen this movie. Yeah, and so I like that Bowser was all like, I'm gonna sacrifice all of them in your honor. You know, I don't think anyone would sacrifice anybody in my honor, so. But yeah, and like I said, I was kinda lying about Luigi needing to become stronger on his own. He's basically just a captive for most of the movie, but it's fine. I do love this moment, because Cranky Kong's, like, very hard. Cranky Kong is, like, very tough on Donkey Kong throughout the movie, so it's very sweet when he's all like, oh, I love you. I'm so proud of you, son. Also, I love that Bowser literally is able to break through the ice just from sheer rage of seeing Peach talk to Mario. Like, I think she touched, like, his arm, and he got pissed. He's all like, it gave him the literal willpower to bust out of ice. So, yeah. And then we got Bonsai Bill, which is like the bigger Bullet Bill. which I don't think a lot of people know that that's its name. I'm pretty sure that's its name. I'm not 100% though. I could be wrong. I do love that. I mean, I would get pissed too if someone hit me in the eye. But literally stopping and chasing me as a bullet is just funny. But yeah, and then once again, you always I always gotta go back to the animation. It's just beautiful looking, like all the mushrooms and stuff. And then of course we got it's always nice when a movie like doesn't just waste something. Like the warp pipe that they came in through it's still there. So it's nice being able to see that him like, oh, I can use this. So yeah. Just so you know, ads are gonna start in less than a minute. This clip will end beforehand, so we're all good. But yeah, no, it's just so much. It's fun. Once again, that wedding looks awesome. That is an awesome looking wedding. I would get married there. But yeah, so but yeah, so I am going to be late for Lethal Company. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. But yeah. Also, ads are going to be starting in a sec. Sorry about that. Yeah, ads starting soon. Okay, so this should be the last ad break, and we're going to have to speed through the end here. So. And then I got to do the wheel and the trailers real quick, so it shouldn't take too long, but... Hopefully I didn't mess up on... Whatever. Ad should be ending. Ad just... We still got a minute left of the ad. Sorry about that. I didn't think it was... Is it really already almost time for Lethal Company? My bad. Oops. See, this is why I can't be left to my own devices. I'll talk about movies for about 2.5 hours. Like, this is why I can't be left alone. I have no filter, and I literally will talk about movies for hours, so... But once this is over, I'm gonna still spin the wheel real quick, and we'll watch the trailers, and then I will end this stream and open up a new one. So, but just give me a little bit. Alright, ads still got... The other ad timer has a little bit of time left. I love how different they are at times, but we'll get back into it soon. Welcome back, if you are back. Alright, officially welcome back. Okay, we gotta get through this quickly. And hopefully beat this before the next ad break. Okay, so sibling power activate. The description is Mario sends everyone back through the warp pipe, which we just saw with a big explosion. So they are all back in Brooklyn, but Bowser isn't going to stop. So the Super Mario Bros. Must come together to put the Koopa down for good. And so that, okay, this isn't that long of a one. But yeah, so basically, literally nothing really has changed. It's been like a quick, the explosion, and they end up here. Mario does get beat up a little bit and needs a little inspiration, but don't worry about that. And then they come back in, and obviously they need to get this. The superstar is the MacGuffin in this movie. It's like the most powerful thing. So oh, okay, yeah, Discord is imploding. Okay, that's why these ones are all not working. Alrighty. Thought something bad was going on. I just noticed like all the Discord, like a bunch of Discord servers had like an exclamation point. I'm like, what the hell? Oh wait, kids movie. What the heck? But yeah, this is great. We get to see Luigi protect Mario, and what's great about this movie is they don't make it that Mario is the only one doing things in the final bout. Like in the so many other movies would be all like, oh, like they want to have both Luigi and Mario be strong, but at the end they would like have one, like it would probably just be Mario beats up Bowser. But the entire point of this movie is about brotherly love and like being strong on your own and stuff like that, and but still like it's all right to rely on your brother. And so they let Luigi and Mario have their moment to shine. That's why this is called Super Mario Bros. The movie instead of just the Super Mario movie. It's not just about Mario, it's about both Luigi and Mario. And you get to see like their parents are like so proud of them. And we get to see, and of course, like, it's so great. Once again, you get a remix from the games, this time of this Superstar music. And you, and the great reference of Mario 64, where you have to grab Bowser's tail, swing it around, and throw him. It's so cool. And just, like, it's just, they clearly put a lot of love into it, and I think Nintendo also had a hand, like, were heavily involved in this movie, which is good, because it came out great because of it. And like I said, I just love that they have it that both Luigi and Mario get to shine, not just Mario. They need, it's the thing of they need to work together to take down Bowser, though they probably could have made it fully just, something's weird in my hair. Sorry, I'm just like putting my hands in my hair and something like weird isn't. I don't even know what it is. But they bring back the mini mushroom, and then they put Bowser in a jar. Put him in a jar. And obviously, and also like if you're watching this, there's a ton of like other Nintendo properties being referenced throughout the game or movie, which is just great. And obviously I love that Donkey Kong gives a hug to everybody. It's very sweet. Donkey Kong's great. And Spike being all like, yeah, let's go, even though he's like their biggest villain in the beginning, is just great. Alrighty. I'm not going to explain what that dog is, just in case you guys haven't seen the movie. If you haven't, please go watch it. Alright, so that's the end of Super Mario Brothers. Final thoughts: amazing movie, really great, you guys should watch it. It's just so much fun, and don't listen to the critic ratings about this. It's dumb that they're at 50%. This is just an enjoyable movie. And so fun to watch. And if you love the Mario games, you will love this movie. So please give it a watch. Also, I'm gonna have to, and I'm making Daru watch it with me. So that's just going to happen. I know he's not in chat because I'm pretty sure he left at the start of this so that he didn't get spoiled, which is good. Good job, Daru. But I'm going to force Daru to watch this with me. Anyway, we're going to really quickly. Don't worry about the scheduling, or don't look at my schedule stuff. One sec. Okay, I need to Picker wheel. Here we go. No, file, open. So of course I'm not live. Why am I not live? Oh, it's here. It's conditioner. That's. I don't remember which email I put it under. File open. There we go. This should be the list, and it should be all updated. If anything new shows, or if anything comes up at the same, it's fine. Alright, let's spin this wheel. See what we get. So we have The Land Before Time. That's so great. One sec. Alright, I gotta open up Discord. Oh. Discord just dying. That's what my friends were saying. Okay. One. Before time. Add. Okay. We're gonna have to watch these trailers quick, because I need to head on over to, and I will just end stream and then just restart because it's easier that way. And that way the things are separate. I don't have to worry about it. And then we got we got John Wick 2. That's fine. John Wick 2. Perfect. Alright, we'll watch these trailers real quick. Actually, I'm gonna just make this John Wick 1 because we're watching John Wick just 1. I think it's weird, like, should have been more vocal about we need to start a series like back to back, because if we want to do the sequels, we'll add them later on. But let me just get this all set up. Okay. YouTube.com, close that, and Land Before Time trailer. 1988 theatrical trailer. There's an ad. Why is it a golf club? What? Why am I getting ads for golf clubs? I don't golf anymore. Alright. I'm not gonna full screen it. You can see what my recommended stuff is. I forgot that Steven Spielberg presented it. Don Bluth. Oh. Oh, this is gonna make us cry. I know about that. Mama? This is gonna be just sad.
Through a land of wonder.
Do. Okay. Hope he doesn't eat any of you. Been so long since I watched The Land Before Time. I don't even. I know the T-Rex is like the main villain, but that's about all I remember. Well, and some other sad things, but we'll get over there when we watch it. You know, for Bring Your Own Subscription. Don't forget to follow so you know when we watch those. Courage. I'm excited. This is an adorable movie. The animation's great. I remember it's a very sweet story, and they had like 1 million sequels. Jeez. A new adventure is brewing. The Land Before Time. Alright. Let me bring up John Wick trailer. John Wick trailer. There we go. This first one from 2014. Oh, don't worry. I'm getting an ad about Gucci Guilty. Don't wear cologne.
Gucci Guilty,
And for fun. At Macy's.
Oh, hey guys, it's at Macy's. And okay. That's why I have YouTube Premium. Okay. John Wick. Come on, I'm sure in this day and age, Keanu Reeves returned to like like big return to movies, and action movies specifically. So just great. It's a great action movie. Hopefully my mic's not all being weird, but it's fine.
Nice ride.
Thanks.
How much?
Excuse me.
How much for the car?
But yeah,
She's not for sale.
she's not for sale. But
Good day.
I like that closed captions are on and it is clearly showing, I believe, Arabic. I don't know why. I'm gonna leave them on. I don't speak Arabic, but I'm the producer of the town.
I lost everything.
Yeah. This is a great movie if you haven't seen it. I'm excited to watch it again for like the millionth time. Oh, this will be an interesting one to watch because I have it on DVD. So.
It's personal.
Where'd you get that car?
What does it matter?
John Leguizamo, who was in the live-action Super Mario Bros. Movie, so nice connection. I like that we got the Land Before Time and John Wick together. That's gonna be weird. It's gonna be a great discussion, but weird as hell. So, probably we get copyright striked with whatever song's playing. Also, I should probably bring this down. But yeah. Once again, just a great action film. The like action sequences are beautifully done, just like Kingsman. Like they don't like do too many cuts. They make sure to do keep it long, because like that way we see what is happening. That's not all jumpy like a Marvel movie at times. Because if you go back to some of those Marvel movies, they really do just have it jump around so much with so many cuts. It's just insane.
I'll get your laundry.
I'll get your laundry. Oh, Alan Riddick. No, wait. Wow, it's not Alan Riddick. Wow. Lance Reddick. Lance Reddick. Okay. But yeah. Okay, so those are the trailers. This was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it was just me, but I hope you guys still found it informative and had a good time. And we just had a nice time talking about movies. I always do.
Hello there.
Oh, hello there. Hi, Vampy. How you doing? I'm just finished. I am just finishing up here, but welcome, Vampy. Hope you're doing well. I hope. I don't know what you were playing. It's okay, Vampy. I'm actually No, Vampy, don't worry. I'm ending this one, but I am going to, I'm just going to go to the bathroom real quick, and then I'll be starting up another stream, because I'm playing Lethal Company with friends. So I'll be back. But, hope you're doing well, Vampy. What were you playing real quick? Before I head on out. Warframe update? Nice. Yeah, is that the update for cross saves? Because I think that but I know because Whispers in the Walls, interesting. That's pretty cool. I've never played Warframe. I've been interested in getting into it, but I have a million other MMOs that I've gotten into. So yeah, they working on it. Okay, cool. Yeah, because my friend is waiting for that update to happen. But I really appreciate it, Vampy. I know it was the end of the stream, but I still very much appreciate your raid. It's still always great, and it's great to see you. And we'll be putting together that Yu-Gi-Oh! Matches in the next few weeks, and that'll be a great time. But I really gotta end stream, right now. I know I'm not gonna raid out. I'm not raiding out this time, but if you guys want to wait just a few minutes, 10 at the most, I'm just going to go to the bathroom. Then I'll get in call with my friends, and we'll get started with Lethal Company. So I will be back really shortly, and then I'll raid out after that. But thank you guys so much for coming, watching us talk about movies. I'm excited for the next two. We got The Land Before Time and John Wick. Those will be great ones next month. But we do have Movie Club again tomorrow, and we are talking about Bullet Train and Your Name. Two very great movies, and I hope you guys will come back tomorrow to watch them and just talk about them with me. But I will see you guys in a few minutes. I'm really sorry, but thank you for showing up. Okay, I'll see you in a little bit.